Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Thousands of Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today I am here to test my gaming trivia. This is Buzz Quiz TV for the PS3, which comes with some interesting buzzy controllers. And I think I picked up this whole Buzz Quiz set like 6 years ago. I saw it for sale at a used game store, and I grabbed it. It was still in its packaging. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, I don't know where that is. It's in a box somewhere. We moved during the pandemic. And also, for recording purposes, these days I record a lot of even PS3 games on emulator because it's just so much easier to have it connected. So I'm using a normal controller, and I've got the Buzz Quiz controller simulated, but I just have to remember what the buttons are. Like triangle's up, square is down. I think circle is green, and then X is red. So I'm going to try my best. I may not be buzzing in the quickest, but I'm excited to give this one a shot. Traditionally, when we have done trivia and karaoke-style games, I have not always been the best, but I'm here to redeem myself today. I'm here to redeem myself. And we're going to buzz. We're going to buzz by ourselves, sadly. We're just gonna, I like when it's, oh, he hunched over when I went down to friends, or by myself, but I guess it was just random animation. Yeah, he was like all excited, and I went to by yourself, and he kind of hunched down. We're gonna buzz ourselves today, just in the privacy of our own home. Nobody has to know. And, all right, so we get a choice of options, which I actually appreciated. Movies and TV interested me. We're gonna skip sports today. Not because, well, because I know nothing about sports. Fun fact, I went to a trivia night around New Year's Eve, and it was supposed to be just generic trivia, and every round had 10 questions, and I swear 3 or 4 were about sports. And there were categories, too. There was like, you know, the jolliest time of year, and there was like 4 sports questions, and we were looking over, there was some girls sitting across from us who we weren't there with, and they were like similarly lost on the sports questions, and we sort of like bonded over that. Like we locked eyes several times, like shrugged our shoulders like all together when sports kept coming up, and we chatted about it between rounds. And they even had, I specifically remember this question, the category was coldest places, and I joked to the girls, I was like, you know, what's the coldest place that football has ever been played, you know, and we all like had a chuckle. And the third question was like, what is the coldest place that football has been played this year, or the most northern place, I think it was. I couldn't believe it. The woman who came up with those questions, because it's like different hosts or whatever just come up with their own questions, but the woman who was running trivia that night, I wish there was a complaint box. I would have said, too much sports, lady, like come on. Sports are a thing, but like there was no science questions, nothing, you know, like, come on. All right, I think we're going to do, speaking of my fortes, we're going to try movie and TV as a starting point, because I feel like that's good. And I want to try Brainiac, because I like science and stuff. I think I could do okay at that. But we'll start with the most obvious, movie and TV. And now this was a trivia game for the PS3. It has countless DLCs out there. So you can easily, if you had this game back in the day, you could play with friends, you could get all sorts of trivia packs. And I feel like, you know, the older I get, the more I'm like, I get trivia. It's just sort of like a nice casual thing that friends can do, and like you bond over like playing some trivia. So, all right, we're buzzed in. What are these portraits? These are insane. I like the superhero one, but also the supervillain one. All right, supervillain or superhero? Let's go evil. Ah, we're Captain Doom. Oh, and you even have different costumes. Whatever, we'll stick with the basic one. Most evil looking. What? Belch. I feel like that warning sound is very like, you know, Captain Diabolical. We'll do the warning sign. What is your name, Overlord? Hey, that's a great name. We are the Overlord. We have come to play trivia. What is with his belt? It looks like he almost has like 80s joysticks there. Like, those are some massive buttons. All right. So we get to pick next. Movie buff, blockbusters, tunes, or TV hits. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna go tunes. You don't actually see too many trivia questions about tunes. I mean, I guess you see like Simpsons trivia is frequently mentioned at bar trivia nights and stuff. All right. This guy looks like a Muppet, by the way. Look at him. All right, Overlord. Overlord versus no one. Who's gonna win?
The stars of which show took a trip to Imagination Land?
Oh, God. I do not know. Imagination Land. Sounds like a Family Guy thing.
The correct answer is
South Park. Oh, right! And then Kenny had to, like, play his PSP. Was that it? Kenny had to play his PSP to, like, defeat Satan or something like that? Which pair had a grand day out in the wrong trousers? Jesus. Wallace and Gromit? No. Beavis and Butthead? Oh, wait. I got it right. And he does the Cabbage Patch. I love it. Is that the Cabbage Patch?
Animation studio brought us the wonderful world of
Wallace and Gromit. That's British. I don't know that stuff. I think it's Aardman.
and the correct answer is
Aardman. The funny thing is my buzzing in sounds like an incorrect. So it's like every time I buzz in, I feel like I got it wrong. Ren and Stimp. He was a Chihuahua. Button. Just got to remember which button is which color. That's the hardest part. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. I used to watch that show all the time as a kid. My parents didn't know enough to tell me not to watch it, or I'm sure they would have. Frou Frou is a cat? You'd imagine. A horse! Well, I can't even picture the aristocrats, so. Anyway. We did pretty good, I think. We're currently number one and the final in the top scores. Finds happiness as the corpse bride. Oh, is that Christina Ricci? Could be Helena Bonham Carter, too. Ah, crap. Yeah. The audience is laughing at Overlord. Preposterous. We will vaporize them after the show. Also, look, he has kind of a dad bod. Like, he's got some pooch above his belt. And the pants are really squinching in at the groin. Look at those stretch marks. That can't be comfortable at all. The fact that he answered any trivia while his nether regions were under that kind of strain is remarkable. Which question would you like next round? Okay, we already did tunes. Let's try blockbusters.
Blockbusters. Righteous.
I definitely want to try TV hits as well. I don't know how many rounds this is, but I'd love to try a little bit of everything.
More points you'll rake in.
So the faster you answer, the more points you rake in. So it's like everyone can earn points on every question. Oh, that's Hugo Weaving. Totally. Yeah. The fun thing with this kind of Let's Play is, like, you guys can play along too. Most of my Let's Plays, it's like, you know, you just have to watch me play. But that's Wachowskis. Come on. Give me a hard one. The Wachowskis wrote and directed The Matrix.
In Spider-Man, whose murder makes Peter Parker devote his life
Oh, gee. Aunt May? Uncle.
Answer, please.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Didn't even say Uncle Ben. Could have been specific. You know, it could have been like Uncle Ben, Uncle Ken, Uncle Jen, and Uncle Zen.
Play a sometimes simple man who achieves great things.
Forrest Gump. Boom. That's about as fast as you could do it. I mean, you could probably do it a little faster if you're trying a little harder than me, but it takes time to read the questions.
Which ship does Orlando Bloom take control of at World's End?
Isn't it the Black Pearl? Yeah.
Reveal the answer.
Or the... Oh, I was going to say, could be the Flying Dutchman. You know what? The first Pirates of the Caribbean I absolutely love. The sequels, I started seeing the second one in theaters. I ended up just abandoning it because I wasn't really into it. And I never even watched the rest of them. So, The Oracle. Yeah, I mean, I know it's sacrilege. People love those movies. But it's all... honestly, this is controversial. I don't really like the second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. There's too many, like, glaring, annoying scenes in that movie. And you may be being like, man, this is the best Spider-Man. I know people love it. And here, I'll just point out a couple of minor things. But one is when Doc Ock is going to get Mary Jane and hold her captive so Spider-Man comes to him. The first thing he does is he throws a car through the window where Peter Parker and Mary Jane are having coffee, and he has no idea that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So for all he knows, he's murdered Mary Jane. You know, she only survives because Spider-Man is Peter Parker and dives her out of the way. Then he picks up Peter Parker and says, deliver a message to Spider-Man for me, tell her I've got Mary Jane, and then he whips him at a brick wall so hard that a normal human would splatter and explode. And again, he only survives because he's Spider-Man. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. I know people love that movie, but you know, and there's many movies I like that you could probably find similar plot holes, but it's like there's a whole bunch of things like that where I feel like people love the second Spider-Man. For me, the first one, like I love it. Like it reminds me of growing up in Toronto. Like you know, just I saw it like when I was growing up, and like it reminded me of my own youth. Not that I ever became Spider-Man, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I love the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Second one, people love it. It's not as good in my opinion, but there you go. Controversial opinion for the day. I've earned a dislike if you feel inclined to do so, but let's give TV shows a shot now. Now that I've ranted and raved about classic movies. So the movie section was fine. We got a couple of Matrix questions in a row there, though. Would have preferred a bit more variety. Keith Partridge? I don't know. This is a total guess. No idea. Don't even know who that is. I know it's the Partridge Family, but I absolutely never watched that show.
Kyle MacLachlan investigates Laura Palmer's murder in
Oh, God. I don't know. Twin Peaks. I didn't watch that show either. I know it's about a guy investigating a murder, though. That's about all I know.
Which war were the doctors and nurses of MASH dealing with?
Wasn't it the Korean War?
Reveal the answer, please.
I think it was Korean War. My grandpa used to watch MASH. I only ever saw a few clips.
Ugly Betty Suarez copes with office life at which magazine?
Oh, Ugly Betty. Never watched that either. How about Mode? That is incorrect. Oh, it's correct! You will bow before Overlord.
The aptly named Lucy Lawless plays which feisty
Oh, she plays Xena. Xena the warrior princess, Zonda the fighting queen, Brenda the battling baroness, and Yolanda champion duchess. I want to watch Yolanda champion duchess, frankly. Sounds like an interesting show. Oh, what's that guy's name? Hugh Laurie, that's it.
Reveal the answer.
Stephen Fry. Isn't that guy also like a philosopher and stuff like that? Or am I mistaking him for someone else?
Well, let's look on the bright side.
All right, well, that was pretty fun.
You scored some points. You have no friends to see how badly you've done.
Hey, I didn't do badly, man. I feel like I probably got like 80% correct, I'd say. Oh, now we get like the end credits. Do I even go on like a high scoreboard, or that's just it? Also, I can't skip these. Do you have to watch the credits at the end of every match? It's so tedious. There's no high scoreboard? There's nothing. Nothing to tell me how I went? Also, I like that this guy's in like a penthouse condo. Okay. The trivia part was fine. It was reasonable. It was... I mean, trivia is trivia. But honestly, like, no high scoreboard? Nothing? Nothing? I've said this many times, but the trivia game that I loved growing up was You Don't Know Jack. I love the fact that they mix pop culture and high culture, and the questions are so like weird and wonky. You know, like I love You Don't Know Jack. That game also has so much personality, so much comedy. Even at the end credits, I would often watch them because you'd hear fake commercials that were so good. Like, it was comedic genius with very interesting trivia, and it did have a high scoreboard and other things. I will say this is like serviceable and fine. I guess the gimmick is you have buzzers, but frankly, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try and quit. Frankly, you could accomplish the same thing just by having a controller and have like triangle, square, circle, X, right? Like you don't need the buzzer. The buzzer is a total gimmick. So, It's fine as a trivia game, but yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me actually reset this here. Buzz Quiz TV, we're back. You know what? Actually, sorry. In the interim there, while I was resetting, I did have a brief thought, which is that if you did want to play 4-player trivia with your friends, you'd need 4 PlayStation 3 controllers. Or if you bought the Buzz Quiz set, which I bet was cheaper, you'd get 4 buzzer controllers. So you could play with 4 people, even not owning 4 PS3 controllers. I could see that actually does make a little sense. And so from that perspective, I guess the buzzer isn't that big of a, what do you call it, gimmick. So anyway, let's play by ourselves. Play with ourselves. That's all we ever do on this channel. And the Brainiac version, we're going science. We went from like generic, bottom of the barrel, lowest common denominator, you know, movie, TV show trivia, which I love, to hopefully like science and history, which I also quite enjoy. So we're going to see both ends of things. One thing that I've never found in real life is like a hardcore geek trivia where it's like, you know, sci-fi shows and computer programming questions. That's what and video game trivia. That's the trivia I want. That would be my ideal trivia. Okay, we'll be someone else this time. These are weird. Let's be the superhero. From 0 to hero. And we'll just go with the generic costume. And we will be... I thought it was picking a name and my name was Belch. These are like weird. These are really weird. It's not just like a normal buzzer. Quizman. Okay. Alright, Quizman. He just rises on an elevator out of their basement. He's been thawed out of cryo storage, ready to quiz. He's like the Sam Rockwell in Moon. Alright. Science and technology, natural world, around the world, or people and events. Science, baby! Science all the way! Let's see how we do.
Waste time, waste points.
Ooh, brain. I'll take brain stuff. Stop the clock.
Stop the clock!
Alright, Quizman.
Fast answers means more points.
In 1989, which British computer whiz spun the World Wide Web?
Spun it. British. I have no idea. Tim Berners-Lee. Wait, spun the World Wide Web? Like came up with the name? Because the internet came from ARPANET, which was U.S. military technology.
Reclassified as a what?
It's not a planet. It's a dwarf planet? I don't know about that. Well, there you go. We're on the board.
What does the N in NASA stand for?
National. Give me a break. National Aeronautic and Space Agency. Ask me about the A or the S or the other A.
Which Scottish scientist earned a Nobel Prize?
Oh, geez, I don't know this one. This is like science history. Alexander Fleming, David. I'm just guessing blindly. 1 out of 4 chance. Oh, there we go. Mr. Fleming, as it turns out. See, with trivia, you can learn something along the way.
The American streetcar was first introduced in which
Insomniac City? City that never sleeps. Los Angeles, I feel. New York. I guess that would make sense. I always picture like streetcars as more of like a San Francisco kind of thing. That's why I thought LA. And then Who Framed Roger Rabbit had the San Francisco, the red car. There's a whole plot point there. In an acid test. Litmus paper? I don't know. I'm much dodgier on the science than I thought I would be. Give me brain. Give me computer science. Give me math. Give me something I know, man.
But my pappy always told me...
Yeah, that was reasonable. I did better at the movie and the TV stuff, I think. Kind of want to try the science again. We get to pick a few more categories, I think.
My lonesome lovely. Which subject would you like questions on next round?
All right, what are our options? People and events, science, technology, natural world, or around the world. I'm going to do science again. Stick with me, folks.
Science and technology.
I feel like those questions were a little unsatisfying. I want more sciencey style questions. Also, those other categories don't really speak to me. Maybe we'll just pretend this is a hardcore science round and ignore the other categories.
To make them float.
Helium. Which we are running out of, by the way. There's a finite amount of helium on Earth. We're using it for balloons instead of medical
What
technologies.
does the acronym RADAR stand for?
Oh yeah, I forgot that's an acronym. This is range detection, no. Radical Army Research? Radio detecting and ranging? I think this one? Is that correct?
I like people who know how to use a buzzer, which is why I'm really going off you.
Oh, I buzzed in. I did pick that one, guys. Fiber optic technology relies on light.
The correct answer is...
I did pick that radar one. You know what was confusing is for some reason I read it as what is the acronym for radio, and then radio was in the acronym, so I'm like, those can't be right. And then I was like, oh wait, radar. Radar and radio is confusing them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Earthquakes. Also tidal waves, because they can be a consequence of earthquakes under the sea.
Which planet, famous for its
paradox.
rings, is the second largest in the solar system?
Saturn?
The correct
It's the only
answer
one with
is...
rings. Although I think technically that might be wrong. There might be another planet with some rings, but Saturn, it's like clearly visible rings.
In 1867, which revolutionary item did Christopher Latham Scholl bring to the
What? Telex, a fax? Couldn't be a fax or a typewriter. I think a telex. I don't know. Blind guess. A typewriter. Christopher Latham Scholes.
Got one wrong, and that makes...
I do remember that the reason the typewriter keys are arranged the way they're arranged is to actually slow down typing, because typewriters would jam if you type too fast. So oddly enough, the keyboard arrangement we've been using forever is designed to make us type slower. Which maybe we should upgrade that, but I for one would be the last person who would want to upgrade it because I'm so used. I don't think I could train my like middle-aged brain to use a new keyboard at this point in my life. Anyway, around the world, natural world. Okay, let's try something different. Let's try natural world, I guess. Give it a shot. I got my little clown horn beeper. Meep. Every time I select something.
Remember, fast answers means more points.
Fast answers means more points.
The aptly named duck-billed platypus is a native of which
Isn't
country?
that Australia? I think. Australia has all the weird animals. It's like if there's an animal that looks like something you've seen before but totally different, it's Australia. Like the kangaroo, the platypus, etc.
Which wetland
Can't think any more off the top of my head, but I know they're there.
on its prey?
Isn't that an alligator?
Here's the right answer.
Yeah. I've seen videos of that where they like grab something and they just sort of spin around. The craziest thing to me is there are alligators at Disneyland, and a non-zero number of people have died over the years getting eaten by alligators at friggin' Disneyland. That is one reason I will never go back to Florida. I went when I was young. There are many reasons not to go back now, but one of them is an alligator's going to eat you at the happiest place on Earth. I don't think you can retain the happiest place on Earth. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. Tallest tree in the world. It probably would have said redwood. But the happiest place on Earth should not get that name if an alligator eats somebody there.
Which snappy little title?
Alligator pear. What? I have no idea.
The right answer.
I don't know what that is. An avocado? That's an alligator pear? I guess that makes sense with the skin.
Which of these birds is most at home on water?
Seagull. Canada goose. A blue tit. A lapwing. A sparrow. Canada goose. Where I went to university, after it rained, there were so many geese on campus. Geese would like find puddles and guard them, and they would like squawk at you as you walk if you walk too close to their precious puddle. Which slippery cousin doesn't kill its prey with venom? Is that a boa constrictor? I think so. I've stopped trying to answer these quickly because I'm getting too distracted with anecdotes and stories. But yeah, after rain, you'd be like coming into the building. There'd be a big puddle in front of the door, and there'd be like a goose guarding the puddle, but he'd also be protecting the door. And they were vicious. They would like snap at you and bite you and stuff. Like they're not. They can be non-gentle animals. So yeah, they would. I've seen geese chase people across campus sometimes. They got too close, and the goose started chasing. You started to run, and the goose was like, "All right, we're doing this," and it would just go at you. So. Anyway, trivia, Buzz Quiz TV. I was going to call it Buzzkill TV, but that's the opposite. It's one of the games in the book, 1,001 Video Games Just Play Before You Die. I think it's a fine trivia game. I definitely like thinking about the controller. The fact that, yeah, you get 4 controllers when you bought the game. It does make sense that this would have been a bit of a phenom when it came out, because people wouldn't need a bunch of PlayStation controllers. You just buy the game, bring people over. They could all come and play with you. You could play online. There are all these DLC trivia packs. That said, at the end of the day, it's kind of just trivia. You know, the uniqueness of it doesn't jump out at me all that much. It has trivia questions, you know, like I'm sure you could go online these days and find dozens of trivia games. You can find apps on your phone. For me, the trivia game that always stood out that shocked me when I played it was You Don't Know Jack. Because it is so unique and it is so clearly its own thing. This felt like it was fine. I mean, the 3D models and all that nonsense, it kind of felt like dad humor. You know, like, oh, I'm buzzing in with a belch sound. Isn't that funny? Or a clown horn, you know, like just make it the goddamn buzzer sound. Who cares? And then you have these like these weird 3D characters and stuff. It's fine, but it just felt unnecessary. Like, think to what You Don't Know Jack is. It's just a blank screen with an announcer and your names. That's it. You don't need any 3D models. It's not necessary. So, I get that they were trying to jazz it up because it's on the PS3. To me, I'm not sure it's necessary. The trivia part of it, I like. Some of the other parts, they seem fine to me. So, I think this is more a product of its time. Like, you know, you think of this book, 1,001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die. Are people in 50 years going to play this trivia game? Probably not. Like, what is there to bring people back to? You just play a modern trivia game on your, like, holographic PS7 at that point. So, interesting game. I don't know. If you have fond memories of this game, though, or you used to play this all the time, I would love to hear about that. Because even if a game is aged and we think, maybe it's not a must-play anymore, it doesn't negate any of the fun that you might have had with it back in the day. And I always love hearing about that from you guys. So please let me know if you have any fond memories of this one in the comments below. And as always, guys, whatever you think of the game or my opinion of it, I hope you did have fun. If you did, like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will be back soon with yet another game and yet another video. Till then, my friends, you take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Peace!